Rewritten, readable version. What if I told you that the most potent form of attraction has nothing to do with what you say, what you own, or how you look? Society sells you a lie, a constant, nagging whisper that you need more things to be more of a man. A faster car, a sharper suit, a wittier line. But experienced men, the kind of men who create a gravitational pull on the women around them, they know the truth. They operate from an ancient blueprint, a philosophy of internal power that makes them a fortress in a world of sandcastles. This isn't about age. It's about wisdom. And today, we're dissecting the 7 Stoic techniques they use to become psychologically indispensable. This isn't about manipulation. That's the child's game of pulling strings. This is about becoming the man who holds the strings to his own soul so firmly that others can't help but feel the stability. It's about forging an inner world so complete, so compelling, that it naturally draws others in, not out of need, but out of fascination. You're about to learn that the most magnetic quality a man can possess is an unshakable sense of peace in the middle of a storm. Forget everything you've been taught about game. We're not here to play games. We're here to understand power. Think about it. That feeling in your gut when you sent a text and she hasn't replied. That slight panic. The compulsive checking of the phone. The mental gymnastics of what you should have said differently. That is the disease of the modern man. It's a famine mentality. A desperate hunger for validation that is broadcasted in everything you do. We act as if her attention is a scarce resource, a drop of water in a desert that we might lose at any second. This frantic, grasping energy is the loudest signal of a man who lacks an anchor, a man whose emotional well-being is outsourced to others. And here's the brutal truth your friends won't tell you. A woman's intuition, a primal mechanism honed over thousands of years to detect stability and safety, can feel that instability from a mile away. You're trying to prove you're the prize, but your actions, your reactivity, your nervous energy are screaming that you believe you've already lost. You're a ship without a rudder, tossed around by the waves of her moods and her attention. And no woman wants aboard a sinking ship, no matter how nicely it's painted. The man she can't forget isn't the one who is always there. He's the one who is always himself, regardless of whether she's there or not. Technique 1. The fortress of his mind. The foundational principle of the Stoic is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus stated it plainly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. What's up to us? Our judgment, our actions, our character. What's not? Everything else, including her feelings, her responses, and the ultimate outcome. The inexperienced man lives his life trying to manage things outside of his fortress. He obsesses over her mood, tries to control her perception of him, and his own happiness rises and falls with her validation. He is, in essence, a slave to the external, the fortress of his mind. Imagine she flakes on a date. The reactive man feels a surge of panic and anger. His thumbs fly across the screen. Why? Is everything okay? What happened? He's seeking control over something he cannot command. Her choices. The Stoic man, however, feels a sting of disappointment for a moment, acknowledges it, and then releases it. He understands her action is a piece of information, but it exists outside the walls of his fortress. He controls his response. He goes to the gym, works on his business, reads a book. His world does not stop, because hers momentarily shifted. This self-possession, this absolute sovereignty over his own emotional state, is magnetic because it is the rarest commodity on earth. Technique 2, the economy of words. Observe men in a social setting. You will see the nervous ones, the ones trying too hard, filling every pocket of silence with chatter. They use a machine gun of words, spraying anecdotes and jokes in every direction, hoping one will land and earn them a laugh of approval. They perform. They tap dance. They exhaust themselves. The man operating from a Stoic frame, however, understands the power of silence. He uses his words like a sniper rifle, one shot, one kill. His communication is economical, purposeful, and weighted. The power of silence. He listens more than he speaks, not as a tactic, but out of a genuine desire to understand. When he asks a question, it's not small talk. It's designed to open a door into her mind. And he is comfortable with the pause that follows. That silence is where tension builds, where she leans in, where she feels the gravity of his presence. He is not there to entertain her. He is there to connect with her. And if no connection is possible, he is content with that too. His lack of verbal desperation communicates a profound confidence. It tells her, my sense of self is not built on your reaction to my words. Technique 3. Embracing the outcome, Amor Fati. One of the most potent Stoic concepts is Amor Fati, a love of fate. Not just a tolerance of it, but a deep, enthusiastic acceptance of whatever happens, for better or worse. This is the antidote to the poison of neediness. The average man approaches dating with a specific goal. I need to get her number, or I need this to lead to a relationship. His happiness is conditional on achieving that outcome. This attachment creates a subconscious tension, a fear of failure that sabotages the entire interaction. The Stoic man, guided by Amor Fati, is fundamentally different. He shows his intent. He is honest about his interests, but he has zero attachment to the outcome. He sees the interaction as an opportunity to express his authentic self and to discover if her authentic self aligns with his. If she says yes, wonderful, a new path opens. If she says no, wonderful, he was spared a path not meant for him and can now invest his energy elsewhere. This isn't a mind trick. It's a profound internal shift where you genuinely believe that every outcome, even rejection, serves your ultimate growth. A woman feels this freedom. She feels that her yes is a welcome addition to your already complete life, not the missing piece that validates your entire existence. Technique 4. The unflappable core. A woman will, consciously or subconsciously, test a man's frame. She needs to know if the structure is solid. Is he really as confident as he appears, or is it a fragile performance? These tests often come in the form of praise or criticism. The average man is a puppet to both. Give him a compliment, and he gets giddy, overeager, practically falling over himself. He reveals that his self-worth is a house of cards built on her opinion. Give him a criticism or a backhanded comment, and he becomes defensive, angry, or sullen. He reveals the same thing. The Stoic man is different. His self-worth is an internal furnace, not an external mirror. When she praises him, "You're so smart," he doesn't get flustered. He might simply smile and say, "Thank you," or "I appreciate that," and the conversation moves on. He accepts the kindness, but his internal state remains unchanged. When she tests him with a slight jab, "That shirt is an interesting choice," he doesn't crumble. He might laugh or agree with a playful, "It's definitely a choice, isn't it?" He demonstrates that her words are just weather patterns passing by. He is the mountain. This emotional consistency is deeply unsettling and deeply attractive to a woman accustomed to men whose moods she can manipulate with a single sentence. Technique 5. His unseen code. At the heart of Stoicism are the 4 virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. For the modern man, this translates into a personal mission, an unseen code of conduct. He has principles. He has a purpose that is bigger than his desire for pleasure or his fear of loneliness. This purpose could be his business, his art, his physical discipline, his commitment to his family. This mission comes first, not out of selfishness, but because it is the very source of his strength and integrity. Without it, he is nothing. Here's where it becomes real. She texts him spontaneously, "Hey, want to grab a drink right now?" But it's a scheduled time to work on his project or hit the gym. The people pleaser, desperate for the opportunity, abandons his commitment in a heartbeat. He signals to her that she has the power to pull him from his purpose. The Stoic man, however, will kindly but firmly hold his ground. "That sounds fun and I'd like to see you, but I have a commitment right now. How about Thursday?" He isn't choosing commitment over her. He is choosing to remain the man he promised himself he would be. A woman will never truly respect a man. She can easily pull away from his own center of gravity. Technique 6. The urgency of his purpose, memento mori. There's a phrase that Marcus Aurelius repeated to himself, memento mori, remember you will die. This isn't a morbid obsession. It is the ultimate tool for clarity. The constant awareness of life's finitude strips away the trivial, the petty, and the meaningless. The older, wiser man embodies this. He doesn't have time for 3-day-long arguments over a misunderstood text message. He doesn't have time for jealousy, passive aggression, or emotional games. His mortality gives his life an urgency that is intoxicating to be around. Remember, you will die. Because he knows his time is a non-renewable resource. He doesn't waste it on low-quality interactions or needless drama. He addresses issues directly, honestly, and with a view toward resolution, not victory. He is more present in his conversations because he knows this moment is all that's guaranteed. This creates a drama-free sanctuary around him. For a high-quality woman navigating a world filled with chaos and emotional static, a man who refuses to participate in the nonsense isn't boring. He's peace. He is a haven. Technique 7. The controlled discomfort. Seneca, one of the great Stoics, would periodically practice poverty. He would eat meager food, sleep on a hard floor, and wear his simplest clothes. Not because he had to, but to teach his body and mind one crucial lesson. I can endure this. He was inoculating himself against misfortune through voluntary hardship. The modern equivalent is the man who willingly embraces discomfort. He takes the cold shower. He pushes for one more rep in the gym when his body screams no. He tackles a difficult project at work that everyone else avoids. This isn't about bragging rights. This is about forging confidence in the fires of reality. It's easy to say, I'm confident, but it's another thing to know you are resilient because you have tested your own limits again and again. A woman doesn't need to see your workout log or know the temperature of your shower. She feels it. She feels it in the way you carry yourself, in the steadiness of your gaze, in the calm of your voice during a crisis. She senses she is with a man who will not crumble when life gets hard, because he practices crumbling every single morning and choosing to stand back up. The secret. So, we've gone through 7 techniques. And if you've been taking notes on these points as a list of things to do to a woman, a checklist to make her addicted, you've been listening, but you haven't yet heard. Now is the moment to lean in, because here is the secret we promised at the beginning. These are not techniques to make a woman addicted to you. They are techniques to make you addicted to your own growth. They are the tools for building an addictive character. The focus was never on her. It was always on you. The irresistible attraction, the magnetic pull, the feeling of addiction she might develop. That is all just a byproduct. It's the smoke that naturally rises from a well-built fire. The man who is a fortress, who speaks with purpose, who loves his fate, who has an unflappable core and an unseen code. He is not performing for an audience. He is simply being. The great shift happens when you stop asking, what I need to do to get her, and start asking, who do I need to become? Stop trying to capture the butterfly. Build a garden, and let the butterflies come to you. The 24-hour challenge. The fortress of your mind. Knowledge without action is just philosophy for the ego. It makes you feel smart in your head, but leaves your life unchanged. So let's make this real. Forget the other 6 points for now. Pick just one, the cornerstone, the fortress of your mind. For the next 24 hours, become the vigilant guard at the gate of your own mind. That is your only mission. Every time you feel that spike of anxiety, frustration, or anger about something you cannot control, the guy who cut you off in traffic, a text message you're waiting for, the rainy weather, a negative comment online, pause, take one deep breath, and say to yourself, either out loud or in your mind, this is external. This is not mine to command. My response, however, is, that's it. Don't judge the feeling. Just label it as external and reclaim ownership of your inner state. Do this for just one day. That is the first brick in your fortress. The closer, this is the path of the Stoic. It is not the easy path of quick fixes and cheap validation, but it is the path to building a soul of iron. It's how you stop chasing and start attracting. It's how you become the man that women don't just want, but on a deep, primal level, respect and feel safe with. It's how you become addicted, not to her, but to becoming the strongest, most grounded version of yourself. The attraction is just the inevitable reward for that solitary work. If this resonated with you, and you are ready to move beyond the superficial, then subscribe and join this community of men who are building their kingdoms from the inside out. Click the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. And in the comments below, I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 techniques hit you the hardest, and why? Let us know when you begin your 24-hour challenge. Remember, the world is full of sandcastles. Be the fortress. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, make sure to leave a comment so we can know how you felt about the video and what improvements we can make. Your feedback helps us create even better and more engaging content for you.